Hello, and welcome to the very first episode of What the Funnel, the marketing podcast that takes a curious and exploratory look at what could work better for marketing in today's context. I'm your host, Kyra, and if you've ever found yourself asking, what even is the funnel anymore? Then you're in good company. In today's episode, I'll be covering three truths that define the paradox of marketing today, two brand case studies that prove that marketing can still be the game changer that we need it to be, and one AI tool that could be interesting to try out in the awareness stage of your marketing funnel. I'm excited to have you here, so stay tuned. Hi, welcome back to What the Funnel Marketing Podcast. So there are three truths that define the marketing paradox today. Marketing is possibly one of the most difficult roles that exists, and if you're a marketer, you know this to be true. CMOs are increasingly expected to be responsible for brand equity, pipeline, and revenue, often simultaneously taking on the roles of chief brand officer, reputation officer, customer officer, and in some cases, trend watcher, right? It is no wonder that CMOs tend to have the shortest average tenure amongst the C-suite, often around 18 to 36 months. And yet there remains a huge opportunity with marketing in the way that it can drive value for businesses today. After all, it is the only function that truly owns the full customer journey and that listens directly to the market at scale. McKinsey states that CEOs who place marketing at the core of their growth strategy are twice as likely to experience greater than 5% annual growth compared with their peers. Yet, how does marketing really find the value that it can bring, especially in this increasingly fragmented media landscape, and where the average buyer journey includes, for example, over 20 touch points across 7 channels, multiple markets, and we have to grapple with building lasting, well-loved brands over the long term whilst also nailing short-term KPIs. I like the sharing of Rupen Desai, CMO and venture partner of Terra, who says that the real conversation should be about value creation and marketing's pivotal role in this. What companies truly need are new value creation models that do not erode our planet or make communities unequal in growing economic returns. In other words, doing well by doing good. In the next section, I will be talking about two brands and how they redefine value through marketing. Stay tuned. Speaking of brands that are doing well by doing good, one such brand is MasterCard that had a very interesting initiative called Room for Everyone. This was in response to the influx of Ukrainians into Poland due to the ongoing war. It is what some term to be one of the biggest migration exercises since World War II. It was causing a strain on Poland's infrastructure, and many Ukrainians who were relocated were understandably grappling with how to figure out life there. What this platform and what this app does is it offers recommendations on real estate, and it also had this feature where Ukrainians could share a little bit about their background, the skills they had, and the app would then recommend new opportunities for them. What's remarkable is that it was found that 1 in 5 Ukrainians who had resettled in Poland had used the app in their resettlement, which made it a huge success. And this is an example of how adding value to consumers is the way to go with marketing, and how brands who continue to do so will certainly outlast the competition. Another interesting example is Barclay Prime. This is a brand that produces Philly cheesesteaks. And what they decided to do differently was to offer their cheesesteak at $100. This was covered in Jonah Berger's book Contagious. And The key reason they went viral or contagious, so to speak, was because all they did was redefine the value and the quality of the premium cheesesteak. Imagine marbled beef, handcrafted buns, lobster-infused butter, caramelized onions, a truly premium $100 cheesesteak with a clever name, the $1 million cheesesteak. Within weeks, it had gone viral. It was on the local news. Tourists were even lining up to take photos with it. And the point that Jonah Berger was covering in his book with regards to this particular case was that social currency can be one factor that drives virality and makes a product a success. To me, it's also understanding that marketing is not just about the funnel, right? Sometimes it can look like product innovation. A premium, extremely tasty Philly cheesesteak that truly feels like $1 million gives customers a license to brag, gives them social currency. It is fulfilling a different need in a clever, creative, and appetizing way. Speaking of winning, and speaking of building attractive, tasty food, I'll be covering one other AI tool in the next section that could be interesting for the awareness part of your funnel, called Pixie. Stay tuned.